if you're buying a car, if you're buying new furniture, if you're buying a new computer or a cell phone, beware of the upsells. Know that they're likely to happen and think through whether or not they're of value to you before you go in. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at one of the classic negotiation clips of all time. It's from the movie Fargo, and it occurs in a place where most of us experience all sorts of super challenging, difficult tactics, and that is a car dealership. Also, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to tell you how I negotiate car deals so that you will never find yourself in a situation like this.
We sat right here in this room and went over this and over this.
Yeah, but that true code.
I sat right here and said I didn't want any true coat.
Yeah, but I'm saying that true code, you don't get it. You get oxidation problems. It'll cost you a heck of a lot more than $500.
You're sitting there, you're talking in circles, you're talking like we didn't go over this already.
Yeah, but this true code.
We had a deal here for $19,500. You sat there and darn if you didn't tell me you'd get me this car, these options, without the sealant for $19,500.
All right, I'm not saying I didn't.
You called me 20 minutes ago.
So this is a common tactic that car dealers use. And it's not just car dealers, it's people who sell all sorts of things. And it's called upselling. I say I can give you X. I can give you this car with the options you want, blah, 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 at this price. And then I get you to come to the dealership, or I get you to come to the furniture store, or whatever it is. And then I have a whole bunch of add-ons. And I tell you that if you don't have the 3-year warranty, there's all sorts of things that will go badly and how it's going to pay off for you. And if I'm the salesperson, right, a lot of the way my commission happens is by getting you to say yes to all of these upsells. Of course, if you're on the other side of this, and most of us have been, it's totally enraging. And maybe we're not acting quite as hysterically as this potential buyer, but we can affiliate with him pretty nicely. And so if you're buying a car, if you're buying new furniture, or if you're buying a new computer or a cell phone, beware of the upsells. Know that they're likely to happen and think through whether or not they're of value to you before you go in.
Called me 20 minutes ago and said you had it ready to make delivery. It says, come on down and get it. And here you are, and you're wasting my time and my wife's time, and I'm paying $19,500 for this vehicle here.
All right. I'll talk to my boss.
Okay, I love this moment, right? I mean, the way William H. Macy is acting, I mean, in this like completely rehearsed way, like my hands are tied, but now I'll go talk to the boss, right? This is a classic good cop, bad cop move. And having seen this clip before, I can tell you that in negotiations I've been in, and I want to say never with cars, because if you stick to the end, you're going to hear how I'm never in a situation like this when it comes to a car. But I have been in other situations like this, right? Whether it's buying furniture or something else. And the salesperson says, let me go speak to a manager. Literally what I'm thinking about is this scene and what happens next. So for me, if they don't come back with a yes, I'm just going to double down and insist to talk to the manager.
See, they install that true code at the factory. There's nothing we can do. But I'll talk to my boss.
These guys here, these guys, it's always the same. It's always more.
Let me give a little bit of coaching though before we move on to our hapless buyer. When you're in a moment in a negotiation where you're feeling really, really emotional, it's important to take a break because it's hard to make a rational decision in a moment of high emotionality like this. If I were coaching the buyer, that he take a walk, that he say, let me come back in 15 minutes, so that whatever response he gets, he could be in a better and more constructive place to handle it.
You going to the Gophers on Sunday?
Oh, you betcha.
You wouldn't have an extra ticket.
You kidding?
Well, he never done this before. But seeing as it's special circumstances and all, he says I can knock $100 off that true coat.
100. You lied to me.
What a brilliant and totally manipulative sales move. To frame a situation where the customer is getting something the customer does not want as now a bargain because there's a reduction in price. It is both maddening and another common move that salespeople typically use and that you should be aware of.
Me, Mr. Lundgaard. You're a bald-faced liar.
Bucky, please. Bucky, please.
Where's my checkbook? Let's get this over with. Where is it?
Okay, this may seem like a surprising end, but it isn't so surprising to me. So what's happening here is that the buyer is falling victim to a common psychological dynamic, which is called escalation of commitment. Meaning that as frustrated as the buyer is at this point, he has spent an enormous amount of time selecting this car, negotiating around it, driving to the car dealer. His sunk costs are very high. From an analytical perspective, we might say, hey, it would be better to walk away here to find another dealership. But he has already escalated his commitment, and at this point, as unhappy as he is, he puts the marginal extra dollar on this deal rather than walk away. Even when I teach a one-day negotiation workshop, one of my top lessons is to be aware of escalation of commitment problems, because escalation of commitment problems often have us reach deals that are worse for us than if we didn't reach a deal at all. And this leads for me to share with you my own approach to buying a car, an approach that will keep you out of this terrible, tactic-driven situation going forward. And the reason why it keeps you out of it is you actually never go in and negotiate with the dealer. Because what you do is you turn the negotiation into an auction. And you turn it into an auction where the dealers are bidding on you. So what does it look like? Well, you first go out and actually decide, what is the car I want to buy? Once you've identified that, for a very low fee, you go to a website called fightingchance.com. And there you can buy a whole bunch of information that levels what we call in negotiation information asymmetries. Meaning what it does is it gives you the inside wrap on dealer holdbacks, on the difference between the manufactured suggested retail price, or MSRP, and the actual price that a dealer is paying for the car. Once you level these information asymmetries, you put together a simple letter. And in this letter, you simply indicate that on some certain date, let's say a week from now, you are going to purchase a car with these specifications and these options. And then you send that letter to, let's say, 8 different local Jeep dealers. And you basically say, I am accepting offers on this vehicle that need to be submitted to me by, let's say, 6 p.m. the day before you're going to make the purchase. And what you've essentially done there is incentivized all these dealers to send you their best possible deal, right? Because they are now competing for you instead of you competing for them. So I lease my cars, and I can tell you I have now done this with about 7 cars over the last 20 years. It's time-tested, it works, it avoids the use of these good cop, bad cop, manipulative tricks. So if you want some more tips on how to be a really great negotiator, watch this next Reacts video, which is from another classic film, Shawshank Redemption. Also, do me a big favor, and I promise I won't upsell you. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Please hit the like button on this video. And to make sure you don't miss any more free videos from me, ring the bell so you'll get notifications. Okay, you know you want to watch this classic scene from Shawshank Redemption. Keep watching.